Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. This video is on Jack Skellington from A Nightmare Before Christmas and on how he is an ENTP. I've already talked a little bit about ENTPs with Iron Man, but I want to go through Jack's story with Harmon's story circle. I don't know too much about story. I'm learning about it, but this was something that was brought up by one of the patrons, and it's amazing how well a properly crafted plot fits within the cognitive function stack, as in the 8 function stack. I was looking at the matrix again. It does this too. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each function, but as I'm going through, related to the story, and I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. I'm not going to explain in detail all the functions. If you're interested in that stuff, please go watch some of the other videos on this channel or on any other channel, because it's there. This is just more talking about how Jack progresses and how the story progresses through all 8 functions in the surprisingly succinct order of like the function stack. I know it doesn't naturally work out like that with all of us, but it fits. It fits within the story, so just go with me here. So before we start, it's important to understand the story circle. You start out with you, your basic life, your ordinary life. Then you need something, so you go, you take some actions. Then you're searching for it, you find it, you take it with some price to pay. You return back to the ordinary world in a way, or back to where you came from, and you have been changed in some form. So there are 8 points within that. So let's talk about that with the story. At the start of the movie, Jack finishes another amazing Halloween, and he's actually pretty bored. You know, he's singing about how it's just not appealing to him anymore. It's not entertaining, and he wants to try something new and exciting. This is what he wants, is to remain in NE world, extroverted intuition world. He's an ENTP, so his leader, his dominant function is extroverted intuition. So he wants to stay in there. He wants to explore all these different possibilities, but he's lacking some meaning, some purpose, and the true identity of himself. And so extroverted intuition is the option-seeking function attitude in simply put ways, right? It's innovative, it's creative, it's looking at all these different things and springboarding from there to get new ideas and new theories and hypotheticals and things like that. So he's bored. He wants more possibilities. He wants some change in his life.
And I grow so weary of the sound of screams, and I, Jack, the Pumpkin King, have grown so tired of the same old thing.
And he's singing and thinking and contemplating all of his woes. And actually Sally, representing Introverted Sensing, is watching him from behind one of the graves, which is interesting because Introverted Sensing is his aspirational or inferior function. So she's already there. You know, he goes for a walk. He finds this circular clearing of trees with doors representing each of the major holidays. And he opens the Christmas door and gets like sucked in to Christmas town. He's feeling alive. He's curious. And he's excited about all the different wonders in this new world. And he's getting new experiences. And this is extroverted intuition, right? He's so happy to be in this completely new world, experiencing all these new things. And so let's just kind of enjoy the analogy and the metaphor here of a person being in this clearing with all these different doors around them. This is like the extroverted intuition life. Like if I go this way, if I open this door, there's something completely new and different over there. How amazing is that? Right? Or this one, what's in here? I don't even know. Let's go figure it out. What could be there? All these different possibilities to enter new worlds and regain your excitement for life. That was the starting point, extroverted intuition. Now he's going to go to his auxiliary function, introverted thinking. So he needs something, right? What he wanted was to explore new things. What he needs is to make technical sense of the world and to ground himself. And that's what the introverted functions do. They give you a place to stand that is your own identity, while the extroverted functions help you get rid of that, help you shed that a bit and experience the world as it is and relate to the world. So he needs introverted thinking. And he's in Christmas Town and he's like, what is this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? He's trying to piece it all together.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What's this?
That is introverted thinking right there. Like trying to figure out and name and define all these things. Come on now. It just fits so well. So from here, he goes back to the town of Halloween and he calls a meeting. He wants to share this discovery with everybody. And he starts to make a plan to embrace or take over Christmas. And he's explaining what's going on, or he's trying to explain what's going on, like explaining what a present is and all these other different Christmas-related things. And nobody's listening. They're too stuck in their ways. And so he's like, well, I'll just give them what they want.
Everyone, please, now not so fast. There's something here that you don't quite grasp. Well, I may as well give them what they want. And the best, I must confess, I have saved for the last, for the ruler of this Christmas land is a fearsome king with a deep, mighty voice. At least that's what I've come to understand.
He gives this extroverted feeling, power word laden, emotional speech. And he's kind of pitting Santa Claus or Sandy Claus as this evil mastermind. It's us versus him, and we need to step up our game. And he's just trying to, I guess, motivate them to get on board. And this is how he's taking his first actions. He's going into this new realm by switching into his tertiary function, extroverted feeling, and not thinking as much about introverted thinking. And in the movie and in real life, we bounce back and forth between all of these. So it's not just going to be like, well, introverted thinking's out now, extroverted intuition's out now, right? They're all still going to be in there. So anyway, he gives his speech, he gets them all riled up and excited, and then he starts trying to understand Christmas.
There's got to be a logical way to explain this Christmas thing.
He's still doing introverted thinking things. He's trying to figure it out. He's got like schematics and stuff like that. He's really trying to piece it together. And then at this point, he's stuck. He can't quite figure it out. Sally, introverted sensing, throws him something and kind of helps him out. And she's really worried about what's going to happen, but she hasn't quite communicated that yet. Introverted sensing is the polar opposite of extroverted intuition. And so NE, extroverted intuition, is looking for all these different possibilities. Introverted sensing is trying to remind us to check in with the past and see how things worked in the past and use that properly to construct a solid present world and into the future. A very stable setting. It doesn't want to change all these things. It wants us to remember the facts and our past and use that to construct a good present and future. And it also holds on to tradition, because tradition is something that has stood the test of time and it's stable, right? So this is kind of funny how she's trying to not let him ruin Christmas and change Halloween in the process and all this other stuff. So from here, we've crossed through the 4 functions. He's searching right now with Introverted Sensing, kind of helping him out, and Sally is also kind of the threshold guardian. Within the cognitive function stack, the 4th function is the bridge to the unconscious, as well as within the movie, I think she's there trying to help him out to get to the next stage in a way, right? And so from here, we're entering into the unconscious, the chaotic world a little bit more. And so the function attitudes and everything get mixed up a bit more, but they do show up, oddly enough, in the correct order. I say correct order, but 1 through 8. And so Jack just can't seem to understand the meaning behind Christmas. And he talks about the symbols and about looking behind the doors and this esoteric nature of it all, of Christmas.
There are so many things I cannot grasp. When I think I've got it, then at last, through my bony fingers it does slip, like a snowflake in a fiery grip. Something here I'm not quite getting, though I try I keep forgetting, like a memory long since past, here in an instant, gone in a flash. What does it mean? What does it mean? In these little bric-a-brac, a secret's waiting to be cracked. These dolls and toys confuse me so, confound it all, I love it though. Simple objects, nothing more, but something's hidden through a door. Though I do not have the key, something's here I cannot see. What does it mean? What does it mean?
And he's misinterpreting some of the symbols and the meanings behind Christmas. And he actually says that it can't be this difficult. And the answer's right in front of him. He just can't figure it out.
Am I trying much too hard? Of course, I've been too close to see. The answer's right in front of me. Right in front of me. It's simple, really. Very clear, like music drifting in the air. Invisible, but everywhere. Just because I cannot see it doesn't mean I can't believe it.
And I felt this is very representative of introverted intuition, which is his 5th function. So he's looking for the meaning behind things. He's looking for the symbolic, esoteric nature, the abstract nature behind things. And he just can't quite figure it out. He's racking his brain to do it, but that's not really an introverted intuition way. NI wants to sit back a bit and let the brain sift through all this unconscious information and come out with that one insight. Whereas he's trying to force an I through an E, I suppose. And he's like, it can't be this difficult. If I just see enough different ideas, then it'll come together and I'll figure it out. So I thought that was pretty interesting. This is how he is finding the thing that he wants, which is his purpose. He's misaligned in some ways, but he's essentially getting closer to understanding the meaning of Christmas and of himself. So I felt that was related to Dan Harmon's 5th point, find. And then from there, take. So he starts delegating and organizing and reshaping the resources that the town of Halloween has and starts making Christmas. And this is extroverted thinking. All right, so this is his 6th function. And he's taking action. He's delegating. He's managing the resources as efficiently and effectively as possible. And he's actually going kind of for that quick fix without really taking the time to go into introverted thinking and piece it together first and really make sense of it for himself. And so he's just like, well, let's just take some actions. Let's get things going. We don't have much time. Boom, boom, boom. And so it's kind of causing some problems. And so Jack gets Sally to make the red Santa suit for him.
Sally, I need your help more than anyone's.
You certainly do, Jack. I had the most terrible vision.
That's splendid.
No, It was about your Christmas. There was smoke and fire.
That's not my Christmas. My Christmas is filled with laughter and joy and this. My Sandy Claus outfit. I want you to make it.
Jack, please listen to me. It's going to be a disaster.
And he says, I need your help more than anyone. Kind of funny, because, we all need our inferior or aspirational function in so many ways. And so she's there to help him out. She tries to warn him again that, this is a really bad idea. You cannot do this. Please stop. And he just can't contain himself. He's back into NE kind of world, and he's just like, this is awesome, and brushes that off. It's like, it's fine, whatever. And from here, we also get a little foreshadowing of the demonic nature of the 8th function for the extroverted intuitive. So ENPs, extroverted sensing, is their 8th function, and Oogie represents this. And here also, we're kind of moving into more mixed up, chaotic stuff. Santa at one point is making his list and checking his list, and he's like, this child's good, this child's bad, and he gets captured and brought back to Oogie. Introverted feeling fit with that a little bit. It's assessing people and things based on how good or bad they are. Not saying that Santa is an introverted feeler, but it was an interesting idea, right? So he's flying around, Jack's flying around, and he gets shot by this cannon from the police. And he crashes, and he wakes up in the cemetery, and he's like, what have I done? What have I done? Just constantly going over that. And this is, I felt, more representative of introverted feeling.
What have I done? What have I done? How could I be so blind?
He's realizing the repercussions of his actions internally, just kind of sinking down and realizing the bad karma and stuff like that. His conscience is coming in. Like, do you realize what you've done? And so from here, he actually embodies his authentic nature a bit more, and he realizes that he is Jack the Pumpkin King.
And for the first time since I don't remember when, I felt just like my old bony self again. And I, Jack the Pumpkin King. That's right. I am the Pumpkin King! And I just can't wait until next Halloween, 'cause I've got some new ideas that will really make them scream, and by God, I'm really going to give it all my might!
That's who he is. He doesn't need to change that. He doesn't need to be Santa Claus. And so if he were to have embraced introverted thinking more and really pieced it all together, he would have realized that this is just not his game. He is Halloween. He's not Christmas. He's not Easter or any other thing. And so finally he does realize that through introverted feeling at the end, I believe. And then we move in to the big battle between the hero and the demon, the dominant function and the last 8th function. And so he's fully embracing himself and his identity, and he has returned back to the town of Halloween. Fits within Dan Harmon's story circle, right? And so he is Jack the Pumpkin King, and he goes back to make things right, to save Santa, to fight Oogie. And as I said before, Oogie is extroverted sensing. He's gambling, he's got this like big wheel and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that all extroverted sensing is that, but as the demonic nature of it, it's just lights and show and debauchery and all this other kind of sensory pleasing things, right? Anyway, so he goes back and he starts to fight Oogie in this very extroverted sensing way. Like, there's flames and knives and things like that. It's very high energy, high impact. He has to be very present in the moment or he will die. So yeah, it all fit within there too. And he's saved Santa, he's defeated Oogie, and changed in a way. Like, he's happy with himself now. So that's where we are. I thought that was a very interesting movie when I was watching it. I've seen it many times. I watch it every year, but not in this way. I never connected all the pieces within the 8 different functions within the cognitive function stack. So I hope this was interesting, and I hope that when you watch a movie that you can think about it in this way. Like, where is this person right now? And kind of which function are they in? And this, I also believe, does translate to our lives a bit. Of course, everything gets mixed up. But if you're stuck in something, maybe you can think about where you are, which cognitive function you're in, or which place within the story circle or 3-act structure or whatever it is, and you can find a way to get past that by looking at the next function, looking at the next step, and taking that action. All right? So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, patrons, as well. Y'all are awesome, as always. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. And keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace.
My dearest friend, if you don't mind, I'd like to join you by your side, where we can gaze into the stars and sit together now and forever. For it is plain, as anyone can see, we're simply